What is your American dream?
My American dream is to be great.
My American dream is to be a singer.
My American dream is to own a company.
My American dream is to be able to say whatever I want to say.
My American dream is to become a famous rapper.
My American dream is world peace.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Everybody! While everyone's depressed, we're very happy here. Very happy here at the Brad Show Live as we were reviewing the day's events.
Golly, it's a lot going on, guys.
A lot happening in the world, y'all.
But we're here.
Today.
Somebody said, where's Yo-Yo? Jessica Leamy. I'm here, baby.
Today.
And alive.
That's right.
Well.
Now, every day you're here, they're like, all right, Yo-Yo and Boss Lady, they did not get the coronavirus
No corona
yet.
here, guys.
Right.
No corona.
Another Monday in the books. Check.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
I told you.
Yo-Yo, are you sweating over there a little bit?
No, not at all. Are you?
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
A little bit.
This melanin rebukes all corona.
Right.
Bro, don't jinx yourself.
This melanin. Brad, you got a little bit of melanin too. You be coming from the
It's the undertone. It's the undertone.
There's absolutely that's absolutely not true. I just the first coronavirus victim in New York was a 51-year-old Jewish lawyer.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie.
Do you know anyone that fits that description?
When I heard that, Brad was at home sick.
Yeah. But that wasn't me.
Yeah, because they said he rides the train. So
right.
I was like, oh, never mind.
No, Brad's an Uber guy. Let's say, you know what the safest thing in the world to do is right now? Just watch Bradshaw Live from the confines of your home, right?
Yes.
Let's say hello to Javel Finnegan, Tamika Nelson, how are you? Dionne Reed, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, Nikki, Forever Bless, Jasmine Caballero, squad up, Lolitha Platt, squad up. Who else we got here? That's it. Not a lot of people. Kevin Douglas, squad up. Richard Moore, squad. I believe that people are scared to touch the keyboards of their phone.
Nah.
Perhaps they think there's coronavirus on the keyboard, so they're just watching.
They're not.
Or maybe they're watching with gloves on. It's hard to type with gloves on.
Right, you can still share with gloves, but we'll get to that shortly.
All right, let's say on YouTube, hello to Richard Moore, backing up Ricky Max Santos, Kadeen Cole, Jessica Leamy, how are you? Kings TV, the number to call is 1-800-529-5465. Ibrahim Boya.
Oh, boya.
Oh, boya.
That was a good one.
Tally, how are you? Ken Kibbett says, hi, Brad. My question today, Ken Kibbett, no queen, just questions. All right, while I get ready to discuss the misery of the day.
Sheesh, of the weekend.
The misery of the weekend. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do so they can also share the misery of the day with everybody and all their friends. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Well, with that start.
This is the start of a great week, guys. Regardless of what's going on around the world, let's all stay positive and pray it up, all right? So now on all sides.
Pray it up.
Yeah, pray it up. Stay prayed up.
That's all
okay,
left.
I never heard that before. Is that a new term you just coined, or you've heard it before?
We're coining it
We're
right
coining
now.
it up. Pray it up, baby.
Pray it up.
Instead of paying it up, you're praying it up.
Instead of getting paid up, we'll still get paid up.
You get paid up and then get prayed up.
Yes. All at the same time. All right, just like we're saying, all at the same time, everybody on all social medias, I need you all to go to Facebook right now and join the very important squad member page. This is the fan page on for Bradshaw Live on Facebook. You guys get a lot of incentives, and one of the main incentives you guys get is
that the first 5 questions that are asked on our Facebook group will be the first 5 questions that Yo-Yo and I asked during social media check-in.
Yes, absolutely. So you guys make sure you go to Brad Show Live on Facebook, click join. If it doesn't give you an option to click join, that means that's not the page, all right? So we will accept it right here. Then you can ask your questions anytime throughout the day. All right, now everybody on Facebook, we need to get these numbers up right now. This is the beginning of the week and we have a lot to talk about, but we also have a lot of information to help people. So I need you guys all to share right now. It's very, very easy. All you have to do is click the little arrow. It says share, and you can share it to anybody's page. You can share it to an inbox. You can share it into groups. I always see a lot of shares from our squad members that share it to all these amazing groups, like a reggae group or a Jamaican group, an Indian group, Filipino group.
All
like,
the groups.
Literally
Share it to
any
all the
group that
groups.
there's so many. There's thousands and thousands of groups on Facebook. So guys, find some groups where you think that this show would actually help people, okay, or even get entertained. All right, and now also put all your questions in the comment section, please. We love interaction, like, love, smiley face, wild face, mad face, thumbs up, hearts. We like all of that. So make sure you show love to all the video. And what are we gonna do on YouTube?
On YouTube, guys, if you haven't already, you're going to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you are aware when the Brad Show is on live Monday through Friday. And on YouTube, you can also share this post that's happening right now. Put it through as a post, DM it to a friend, send it in a conversation that you're having. It is so important for you guys to share the show because as you watching at home know, Brad is gonna answer so many immigration questions that you have, questions that someone you may know have. So what better way to get the word out there than to share? We're also on Instagram, so make sure that you follow us at Brad Show Live. And we actually still have our consultation contest still going on, so you can enter. All you need to do is find this image on our Instagram page. You're going to like this image, as well as comment to enter your name into the name machine. When you comment, you are going to tag 5 friends. If you comment again and tag another 5 friends, we enter your name twice into the name machine, so on and so forth. Feel free to go ahead and comment and tag as many friends as many times as you want, because it's all about getting the word out there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Yonathan, so what are we gonna get into now?
We are about to schmooze with Brad.
Ay, ay, ay.
Okay.
Oi.
In your hand.
Oi, in my hands.
He's got the whole
Got the whole
in
world
his
on my
hand.
shoulders here.
Yes.
The coronavirus, that's what's on everybody's minds right now.
Yes.
And also on everybody's tables and desks and airplanes and cars and trains, if you believe the news. It's now in over 100 countries. 300 million children around the world are now out of school. Millions of people are on lockdown. Right before we came on the air, Italy, which had northern Italy locked down, now the entire country of Italy is on lockdown. They are not allowing anyone in the country. They are not allowing anyone to leave the country. In addition, they are attempting to prevent people from moving within Italy, restricting internal travel, not allowing people to go to concerts, movies, restaurants may remain open, but I don't know how they're going to get fresh food to these restaurants.
Yikes,
but
that's true.
each table has to be 3 meters away from the next table.
Wow.
But I don't understand how that would even work
It
because the
won't.
waiter has to go from table to table and it's going to coronavirus everybody.
You know,
Anyway.
I don't think that they're doing it for the actual safety of the people. I think they're doing it just for the mind of everybody because they still have to open. So, like, that makes you feel a little bit better knowing that people are not too close to you. Just like when you're on a train and somebody sneezes, you walk over and go to the next seat. That thing is still in the air. Y'all still in the same train.
That's true.
So, I think it's because they still need business. So it's going to make the people feel better.
Italy is not the only country that's on lockdown. It was also announced right before we came on the air that Israel is also on lockdown. Even if you're an Israeli citizen, you will only be allowed into the country of Israel after being put in quarantine for 14 days.
Man. 14 days is a long time.
Right, they are eliminating all air travel to Israel from anywhere in the world unless it is of an emergency nature.
Wow.
In New York, they have closed many different schools already. Columbia is closed.
Oh,
Princeton
really?
is closed. Yeshiva University is closed. Scarsdale High School up in Westchester, we're the first person with the coronavirus up in the New Rochelle area, also closed. Now, Mayor de Blasio had a press conference earlier. He said at the moment they are not considering closing New York City public schools, but I can tell you if they do, that would in essence close all of New York because everybody would have to stay home with their children.
Wow.
Weddings, museums, movie theaters, shopping malls, all people are trying to avoid. Eateries are also expected, as I said, to keep patrons away from each other. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here in the United States. I mean, a lot of thoughts go through my mind. First of all, they claim that, and we don't know, because I don't know what's real and what's not real right now. Okay, all I know is that Donald Trump is saying there's nothing to worry about, but we know Donald Trump has lied more than any other president in the United States of America, ever. Yeah. And we also know that as of this moment, the only thing he is saying is it's that fake news and the Democrats are causing panic in the stock market, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the stock market, people don't play with their money, so they don't fall for his BS. Mm-hmm. So if they believe that there's going to be a problem, they're going to take their money out of the stock market.
Yeah.
Now, what I wonder about is the upcoming election. For two reasons. Number one, the last three people in this election are all white men over the age of 70. The most susceptible, plus Tulsi Gabbard, if you believe that she's still in the race. Realistically, she's not. Right. But the three main people, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, all white men over the age of 70, those are the most susceptible to getting coronavirus, getting ill, and dying from it. Mm-hmm. Yet these are the men who are going around shaking hands, that's scary, carrying babies, going into crowds. I wonder how much longer that's going to be. Yeah. And then the other thing I start thinking about is, when does Donald Trump, who's an authoritarian figure, when is he going to come out and say, it's too dangerous to have an election, we're going to be under quarantine for election day or maybe during the primaries, and we're going to postpone elections, we're going to postpone primaries, we're going to postpone the Democratic and the Republican conventions.
So he could do that?
I don't know. I don't know that he can do it. I'm saying my expectation is he's certainly going to try and use that. I have no idea. I haven't read anything about it. I've not spoken to the guy. Wow. I'm just thinking in my head, conspiracy theories. Yep. In my head, what could happen? Because if it's too dangerous to go to a movie, it's too dangerous to sit in a restaurant in Italy, and you say, okay, well, if that's what's going on in Italy right now, eventually it's going to be copied around the world. People in America have coronavirus. So eventually it's going to spread. Eventually, whether it's in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have the same problem in Italy. We're just a little behind.
Yeah.
And then what is Donald Trump going to say? No election?
Right.
No convention?
Or no panic.
And then the other thing, which you don't know the answers to, because right now I'm going with the theory that it's just a bad flu. You get sick, it's a cold, a lot of people are walking around with it. And then I hear two different opinions. You hear Donald Trump, who tweets, only 23 people died of this in the United States, so therefore I don't know what anybody's worried about. But that's 23 people today. Okay? We don't know how many people are going to die from this in 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now who are very ill. Maybe coronavirus takes months to kill you. Right. We don't know.
Right. So I do want to say one of my good friends who does work at the hospital same person that I got a lot of information from before that's coming out now saying good news. I just heard at work that the virus doesn't do well in hot weather, and it feeds on cold just like the flu. So stay strong until the summer. This is what she's saying? I don't know if it's true yet.
Listen, you know what? I'm just reading here. You know, Alicia Whittingham says children have stronger immune systems than adults. We don't know.
Right. But I thought that it was children that were kind of, susceptible to like actually falling fatally ill from that. The
answer is we don't know the answer.
Right.
Yeah. Which is what is scary. We're going on anecdotal evidence based on what we read in a paper.
Right.
I mean, I'm serious. Right. I mean, and quite frankly, Donald Trump says, 50,000 people died of influenza last year. Yes, that was after we counted 1 year of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Coronavirus has been around 3 weeks.
Right.
I don't know that there's 100,000 people that are ill with it right now that'll die in a month.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there'll be panic. Not that I'm trying to panic everybody.
But you are a little
bit. But I am a little
bit.
Because it's bothering me now, this whole coronavirus thing. I walked down Fifth Avenue. It was empty.
Wow.
It was empty this morning. People are not going to work. And with all of that, the stock market is seeing this. Now, within 5 minutes of the stock market opening today, there was an electronic circuit breaker that shut off the stock market because it was crashing.
Oh, wow.
So once it drops more than 5% in any trading day, the stock market shuts off for 15 minutes to give people a breather. Now, the reason why the stock market crashed, we have two things going on right now with the economy. Number one, you have coronavirus. People are staying home from work. Factories aren't able to ship goods. The people are scared to get on planes and boats, and it's planes and boats that bring people from one place to another and bring goods and your money from one place to another.
Our whole family
I'm sorry?
Our whole family canceled trips to California for our christening.
That's right. So our whole economy, it revolves around the movement of people and the movement of goods, is coming to a halt. With that, Saudi Arabia and Russia had entered into an agreement to limit the amount of oil that they're putting out on the market right now. And the reason that they did that is they're trying to keep oil prices up. So Vladimir Putin, who I think controls the world, he says to Saudi Arabia on Friday, I am not going to prop up oil prices anymore. Russia is going to put out more oil. And the reason why he is doing that, in my opinion, is that Vladimir Putin sees that the U.S. economy is fragile right now with the coronavirus. And the number one industry in the United States right now, fracking oil.
Yeah.
It's the number one industry in the United States. Now, when you go and frack oil, you have to go down, sideways, and then you got to break up the shale. That's a process, and it's costly to do. But the United States is doing it, and it makes money doing it because oil prices are high.
Right.
Once oil prices get to a certain point, and I don't know what that number is because I'm not an oil expert, but I'm telling you what I understand. Once oil gets to a certain point, it's too costly to do fracking anymore.
Yeah.
So basically, we shut down the U.S. oil business. So Russia is trying to glut the market to basically shut down the United States oil business. Right. Now, Saudi Arabia's got their own problems because they have a prince who is not 100% yet in charge of Saudi Arabia. So they got to make sure they have money to pay all their people in Saudi Arabia to keep the prince in power. And they're not going to lose market share to Russia. So what Saudi Arabia do, they can pump out oil faster than anybody. They're glutting the market with oil too. Yeah. So it's a free-for-all in people glutting the market with oil. Everybody doing it for their own reason. The price of oil is tanking. Because the price of oil is tanking, now, yes, it may be good for consumers because now you're going to pay less at the gas pump, but it's not good for corporations. It's not good for Exxon. It's not good for Mobil. It's not good. So everybody's pulling out of those stocks.
Yeah.
Everybody's pulling out of transportation stocks. Yeah. Everybody's pulling out of any entertainment stocks. Okay, South by Southwest, a 400,000 person music festival that makes $30 billion for that area.
Damn, do they?
Done.
Yeah,
closed.
They shut it down.
Wow. So this is why we have almost like a miserable news day today. Mm-hmm. We have countries being shut down, literally Italy, Israel. Who knows what's going to happen here in the United States? Who knows what's going to happen in other countries?
Yeah.
Being literally shut down, and you have an oil war between Saudi Arabia, the United States, and Russia.
Lot going on.
So there's a lot of going on, and that's what tanked the stock market. What's going to happen tomorrow? I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm just scared, y'all. I just heard that there was a priest in D.C. that got the coronavirus, and they have a congregation of like 500 people where they were passing the sacrament. So now, like, everybody out in D.C. is scared. Like, it's just a lot going on.
Yeah, there was a book called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about how something catches on, and then people it takes off around the world globally. That there's this one thing that happens, and it's in each phenomenon that happens, whether it's a cultural phenomenon or an economic phenomenon, but something happens that tips something that is on the edge to go crazy around the world. You know, whether you're talking about iPhones, music, movies, culture, whatever you're talking about.
Yeah.
There is going to be a tipping point with coronavirus. I don't know what it's going to be. And that tipping point is either going to be that the weather gets very warm fast and it dies down, and hopefully by next year we have a vaccine.
Right.
Or, and I don't pray for this for anybody, somebody very well known, very famous, or very much in power, like a president or a prime minister, is going to get sickened by it and die very fast.
Oof.
And it is going to freak
that will freak everybody out.
It's going to freak everybody out.
Yeah.
And that could be a tipping point. I don't know. I don't pray for it.
Right.
Okay, I'm just, and if that happens, the whole world will shut down until this thing is over.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is wild.
It's wild what's going on. I've never witnessed anything like this in my lifetime.
I was about to say, because a lot of people keep on talking about, like, every couple years, a new disease or, something comes out, like Ebola, SARS, Zika virus, all of those that came on. Everybody was scared.
To this magnitude.
Yeah, but you can't compare it? You wouldn't compare it to any of those?
Well, no, because obviously we didn't have the panic that we have now.
I mean, countries weren't shutting down during Ebola.
This is psychological. And Ebola was being quarantined in the East Africa region, and there was only 2 Ebola cases that I'm aware of that made it to the United States.
Right, but then also what was that mad cow's disease?
Right, mad cow disease. Right, people were scared to eat the meat.
So we've had these type of epidemics, in the past, and we all were scared.
I remember during mad cow disease, I was in Paris.
Oh gosh!
And I went to this very fancy restaurant in Paris, and they said the waiter comes over, very snooty waiter, and he says, and the special of the evening is le beef, whatever, And I go, I'm sorry, I'm just not eating any meat right now because of mad cow disease, so you don't have to give me the whole explanation of it. And he goes, Monsieur, we do not sell mad cow disease in this restaurant. I'll never forget that. So for like 25 years, every time I go to a French restaurant, I always think about, Monsieur, we do not sell mad cow disease in this restaurant. Meanwhile, last year, Donald Trump, this was his tweet now, I see here. It says, so last year, 37,000 Americans died from the common flu. It averages between 27,000 and 70,000 per year. Nothing is shut down. Life and the economy go on. At this moment, there are 546 confirmed cases of coronavirus with 22 deaths. Think about that. And that was at 10:40 a.m. Since then, the stock market has crashed and 2 countries have closed their borders. Donald Trump's, as far as I can tell, his policy right now, is to be a cheerleader and tell everybody everything is okay.
Yep.
But I have not seen from him or anyone in his administration one concrete step that the United States of America is doing to try to contain this virus.
Right.
And as I said to you before, yes, 27,000 people died from the flu last year, but that was counting after a full year.
Right.
Okay? We have had this.
And they were actually testing.
We've had this for a couple weeks.
Right.
And we don't even know how many people died from coronavirus that never got tested so far either.
That part.
Because last week, or it was maybe not even last, it was last week, Donald Trump announced anyone who wants to be tested for coronavirus can. And that's just not true. Okay, the most that the United States can test as of yesterday, I don't know what it is today, was 75,000 kits were made to test coronavirus. So there are reports of people who feel sick going to the hospital and being turned away and says, we can't test you for coronavirus. So we don't even know, we do not
Accuracy
know
of the
what,
count right now.
we don't know. Meanwhile, for about 3 hours, let's bring a little lightheartedness to this.
Yes, please.
All right, for about 3 hours, red wine flowed from the taps of some kitchens and sinks
Definitely saw that.
in northern Italy.
I
It was a valve malfunction from a winery. So you were turning on your faucet, and everybody was
Wow.
getting wine.
Look at that.
But people were freaking out, thinking that they were getting coronavirus in their tap. But it turns out it was literally red wine. Can you imagine turning on your sink? You're like, oh, wine. That's fantastic, right?
That's an
Well,
amazing
yes.
thing for me.
It may be in a different time where we're not panicking over coronavirus and
Right, then that
my
would've been-
country shutting down.
Right.
But
A
I
lot
would
of joy.
Yeah, it is the best time for wine, as Jilly says.
Yes, it is.
Now, Giorgia Mazzicchi, the deputy mayor of this was in a town called Castelvetro, said that even though that they're in full emergency mode, in moments when unfortunately there are a few smiles, I'm happy that in our small way we have brought a little lightness to people's hearts and thoughts. So I mean that was kind of funny, and this will make you laugh too. Graphic designer Rob Aiden, he snagged the best mullet in the Mullet Fest in New South Wales. He won Best Mullet of the World.
Wow.
He's British. He told the Daily Mirror, it genuinely feels like it's been a religious ceremony for me. He's 31 years old.
Mullet Fest.
Yes, he claims he got the iconic business in the front, party in the back style. That's what he calls it.
That's
Business
what it
in the
is.
front, party in the back. As a joke during an Aussie getaway 3 years ago, but soon found he liked it. So congratulations to
your
graphic
mullet.
designer Rob Aiden, Mullet of the Year.
All right, the mullet man.
Yes, mullet man. And just in case you have a couple $100,000 to spare and you want to get off of Earth
Where
to
should it go?
avoid coronavirus, the SpaceX company, which is run by billionaire Elon Musk, says it is now starting to sell tickets to make plans to take tourists, private researchers, astronauts from foreign countries, and other individuals outside of NASA's astronaut corporation to the International Space Station. So in case you need to get off of Earth, there is nowhere left to go, I would give Elon Musk a call.
So wait, they say they have a space station. So does that mean that they have a station somewhere out on,
There's a
in space?
NASA space station right now that there's like 2 or 3 astronauts in there all the time.
So they
just go
that
around
means
in a
they
circle.
They had to go there and like build it, or
It was built by robotics, and then astronauts would come and add to it.
That's wild.
Yeah, but it's been up there for years.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild to me, guys.
If you believe anybody's up there. Where there was that movie that years ago that said that, the United States faked the moon landing. Nobody ever landed there.
So do you think that's true?
No, of course not.
Because it did look kind of, wonky, the video.
No, we landed on the moon.
Okay, at that time.
At that time.
Okay.
Absolutely did.
Because I was like, what? Are you serious?
Yes.
You never heard that,
And finally,
What?
that the people were saying that moon landing was fake.
Oh yeah, but people have been saying that for years.
they've been saying it for
okay.
years. It's the same
Yeah.
people who think the Earth is flat.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, if you think that the coronavirus is going to kill you, you can
What
do.
are our other options,
I'll give you
Brash?
another option. You can try to compete against Joey Chestnut. Now he is the dominant Nathan's July 4th Coney Island hot dog eating
Ooh.
contest winner. He's won 12 titles in a row, stuffing
Wow.
hot dogs down his mouth. But now he just set a world record for eating 32 McDonald's Big Mac sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Yes, 32 double patty hamburgers in 38 minutes.
What?
He ate 32 of them.
That
in
means it's
30
almost one a minute.
Right. Now, that's, he did 74
that.
hot dogs
Look
in
at
10 minutes. That is so disgusting.
Oh.
You know what? Oh my God, I'm sweating thinking about it.
Oh, do you understand how much toxins he's putting in his body from that?
Julian, the TriCaster guy, wanted me to eat a hot dog and eat 10 hot dogs and answer 10 questions in under 1 minute in our
under 1
speed round.
minute?
In under 1 minute in our speed round. He's like, why don't you? He goes, nobody has ever tried to eat a hot dog and answer an immigration question all at the same time in under 1 minute.
That means you would have to eat one each second?
I don't know.
No, you said-
I told Julian I'm not able to eat 10 hot dogs and answer 10 questions
That'd
in
be
1
wild.
minute.
Well,
So there it
That
is.
looks horrible.
There it is.
definitely
All right.
won't be stuffing my face with Big Macs in versus the coronavirus. Not a thing.
I mean, I'd rather take the Big Mac than the coronavirus.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
All right.
Wait. I got one more.
I meant to say that backwards.
I got
Yeah.
one more. I got one more. All right. And, because I was telling Julie yesterday, if, worse comes to worse. Not yesterday, this morning. Because we were all lamenting about what's going on in the world. I said, well, worse comes to worse. We could always put a resume into Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. And, because that would be the only company left in the world because
Successful.
everybody always wants to smell Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina, right? So now McDonald's is also getting into the candle making business. As we said, first it was Gwyneth Paltrow, then it was Erykah Badu. Now it's McDonald's. It's not Grimace's personal scent. It's a candle collection that can make your home smell like a quarter pounder.
That's disgusting.
Yes, it has released a group of 6 candles that smell like the individual components of a quarter pounder with cheese. The candles are part of a new Quarter Pounder Fan Club line of merchandise found on goldenarchesunlimited.com. Now, if you burn them all together, you will smell your house like basically the kitchen of McDonald's. Is that something that you would want? Even if they gave it to you for free?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
And you know
I
what's
thought there was
crazy?
going to be a Big Mac scent, but
No.
whatever.
You would rather have a Big Mac scent?
I wouldn't. I just thought that that's where he was going to go with that.
Oh, but the fact that there are people that would actually buy this though
It's a
out there in the
collector's
world.
item, yo-yo.
It's wild to me. People will buy anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want my apartment to smell like quarter pounders.
Well, if you don't turn on the green one, maybe it won't smell
Yeah.
like pickles.
It'll be a quarter pounder.
As a matter of fact, that would be the last thing I would want my apartment to smell like quarter pounders because every time
I'll be hungry.
Every time I order some junk food at night, I get yelled at by my girlfriend. She's like, come on, baby, you got to lose weight. And you're like, you're ordering,
It'd be like,
Shake Shack,
it's a fragrance. It's the fragrance. It's the scent.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it's
the
just
candle.
a candle. It's just a candle. I swear to God, I had a salad. I swear.
Blame it on the
no way.
candle.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tamika Nelson says she does not want me to eat 10 hot dogs
Good.
in 1 minute. She says, "Don't do it, Brad. We need you."
I agree.
This, by the way, is sold out. It was a $35 set.
Sold out.
It's sold out.
That's wild to me.
All right, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do? We got to get into some immigration questions.
All right, I already saw some of you guys started, but I need now everybody to start your watch parties. All right, everybody on Facebook, all you have to do is click on share. It's literally that button that says share. It'll say start your watch party or host a watch party and then click start like that beautiful finger is doing. I need you all to do that right now. Please. I can't beg y'all enough. This is what we need from you guys.
Oh, yeah.
This is the best way to get our show out to everybody on your friends list, because when you guys do this, it actually sends a little ding notification to all of your friends on your friends list, especially those that are online right now. So please, everybody start your watch parties. And what are we going to do on YouTube?
On YouTube, if you haven't already, you should be subscribed to our channel and turn on the notification bell to know when we're on every day. On YouTube, you can also take this video, watching it right now, and share it to someone. Shoot it to someone in a text message, share it as a post. Share, share, share. It's so important. We come together to bring this information for you. Brad has these questions answered, ready for you. So all this information is information that you love to hear, that you love to know, build your knowledge. Why not share this with everyone out there? As well as, I'm looking on YouTube and we're only at 30 thumbs up. That's another way to support the show and make sure that you keep us on and running. As well as, we're live on Instagram. You can share our current post there as well, where Brad is about to get to the bread and butter of our show and answer the immigration questions. So make sure that you share our live footage right now at Brad Show Live and on YouTube as well. So get to it, guys. Share, 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 because we are going to start answering, or Brad is going to start answering some immigration questions.
There you guys have it. All
There
right.
you have it.
Giving answers to the immigration questions.
All right, we can do it. You want to know why?
Why?
Because none of us have the
There
coronavirus
you
yet.
go.
Don't say
Not
yes.
yet.
Don't say
Never,
yes.
ever,
Won't get it.
ever. Yeah. By the way, I have a 6-pack of Corona Light in my office.
Oh, I'll drink
And
that.
I have been walking around all day and dropping it on people's desks saying, look, the first case of Corona in Spar Bernstein.
Oh,
Wow.
gosh.
Is that a bad joke?
Yes, because you're jinxing it. Yeah,
Yes.
at this point.
That is true. All right.
You're knocking at the door.
Let's go
Bring that
to
energy this
Kelly
way.
in Baltimore, Maryland. Kelly,
Hello, Brown.
how are you?
Yeah, good. And you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Yeah. I just want to find out. I have a VAWA case.
Right.
I just find out that my wife had a temporary restraining order on me without me knowing.
Your wife had a what on you?
Restraining order.
Okay.
So my attorney just called me to inform me that there is a restraining order that she put on me.
Okay.
But I was never notified by the court, and she had been communicating to me all this while.
Okay.
So I just want to know the implication or how
Well,
you
the implication is that, I mean, I guess there's some evidence that it's a real marriage. Number one, if she has a restraining order against you and she comes close to you and you don't even know it, she can call the cops and then you would be in violation of that restraining order. So stay away from her. And number three, the fact that she takes out a restraining order has no bearing on whether or not you can prove that she was abusive to you.
Okay.
So those are the three implications. Hold on if you need more help. Let's go to Ibrahim in Dallas, Texas. Ibrahim.
Yes, Mr. Brad, how you doing? Yes, sir. I have two questions. So I came here on 2014 on a B2, and I met my wife. We married at the time till 2016. The marriage was. I mean, if she filed my case, we went on interview, first and second interview. You know, so they didn't say nothing about my case. They don't no update. You know, I just keep on getting work authorization.
How long has it been?
Since we filed 2014.
2014, you still haven't gotten through yet?
No.
When do you think it's time to file a mandamus? I think it's time.
Brad.
Hold on. It's time. I don't want to hear anymore. It's time. 5 years? You haven't heard? Hold on. Let's go to Sarah in Chicago. Sarah.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Good, good. What can I do to help you?
First, I wanted to say thank you for having this show. It really helped us.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So I have two questions regarding my case. So I have a 751 that I need to file this year.
Right.
However, I was evicted. I was wondering how would that affect my case?
You were evicted?
Like a rental eviction.
Okay, that's no effect on your case whatsoever.
Okay,
All you have to do is, all you got to do for the I-751, assuming you and your spouse are together, is prove it's a real marriage. Whether you get evicted from your apartment or not has no bearing.
Okay. And my second question is that I'm not sure if my husband would actually sign the 751.
Well, if you're no longer together, then you got to consider two alternatives. Alternative one, if you're not together, alternative one is you divorce the man and prove it was a real marriage without him. Or two, you file on your own and prove that he was abusive to you, and that's why you don't live together. But if you're no longer together, don't try to get him to sign something and say you're together when you're not.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Let's go to Shernette in Hartford, Connecticut. Shernette.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Yes. I have a question for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going on my adjustment of status interview next month.
Right.
And I'm going to open a joint account with my husband. So I want to know if we should put our paycheck into that account, or we could just take money from the other account.
No, put all your paychecks into one account. So all your money you earn goes into one account, and then you pay all your bills from that account.
So because he already have account when you do online business.
You can make all the excuses in the world that you want. Okay, I just told you what to do. You either do it or you don't. End of story.
So we have to just put our.
You don't have to do anything. But if you want to get a green card, the government wants to see that you commingle your funds and you pay your bills from one account. That's what they want to see.
Sir.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Charlene in Queens. Charlene.
Hi, Charlene.
How are you?
I'm okay. Hi, Brad.
Good.
Have a question for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know if he's currently working. He's a green card holder. He's in like 2 years left to retire, but he wanted to know if he had a felony charge in the 97 for drugs, but he didn't do any prison time. He had probation, but he wanted to know if when he retire, if it would be a problem for him to get his Social Security benefit.
No, it won't be a problem to get Social Security, but it may make him a deportable alien if he tries to travel or renew his green card.
No, it's not about traveling. He ain't going nowhere. You just want to know about working all those times.
No. He'll get his Social Security unless he gets ordered deported.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Let's go to Shalini in Long Island. Shalini.
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What can I do to help you?
Okay, actually, I am eligible for 245I. My uncle petitioned for my mom. So I just want to know how to get that, my old, immigration petition. I don't have that one.
You were under 21 at the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is your mom alive? Your uncle alive?
Yeah, my mom is alive. My uncle is alive.
So you do what's called the Freedom of Information Act request, and you request your mother's immigration records, and they'll send a copy of everything.
But I already did that FOIA request, but they didn't send that that petition.
I don't know. What do you have? What do you have looking in front of you?
I have the case number. I have the file number.
Do you have an I-130 form that says approved on it?
No, that I don't have. That they filed in 1988. My uncle.
Then, Shalini, I don't know what you're looking at, but I bet you that if you bring 1 second, listen to me. I bet you if you bring your FOIA to me, I'll give you the document that grandfathers you in. So hold on 1 second, all right? Because I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Jasmine in Hartford, Connecticut. Jasmine.
Hi, Uncle Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
My mind just skipped a beat when I didn't see you come on sometimes when that the corona is there.
Nope, I'm here. We're corona-free so far, knock on wood. All right, what's going on?
Oh, Lord. I just have a question.
Yeah.
If you have an adopted child, can the adopted child petition for their birth parents when they reach the age?
No. No, they cannot. Once there's an adoption, that breaks the parental bonds between the natural parents and the child.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Thank you, Uncle Brad.
Okay. Let's go to Arlene in Charlotte.
Hello, Brad.
Hi,
how are you?
How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. I have a question.
Yeah.
I filed the 130 for my husband, so I'm just waiting for approval.
Right.
But now I'm getting ready to file my taxes.
Right.
And I usually file single, so now I don't know how I should file my taxes.
Jointly. When did you marry?
In December of last year, but he's in Jamaica. He's not here.
Okay, so then you wouldn't file jointly yet. You would just file married or had a house, married filing separately, had a household. You can't file a joint return when he's not here in America.
All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Let's go to Raj in Washington, D.C. Raj.
Hi, Brad. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Nesquick, I just wanted to say from last time, I love you. I'm really sorry I forgot you about last time. My sincere apologies to you. Also, my wife says, I'm allowed to say this, you are a very gorgeous, professional, intelligent woman. I just want to say that to you.
My goodness. Yes, he's speaking to me, Yo-Yo.
Not to you, Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo. was for Brad.
No, this is Raj complimenting a woman.
It totally wasn't personal that last time.
Despite the fact that he's married, his wife gave him permission to flirt with Nesquick.
He was not flirting, he was speaking his mind. I appreciate you, Raj.
All right, Raj.
I just wanted to say that.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope you guys remember me. Anyway, so I just get to my question.
Yeah.
So Brad, when you talk about first in, last out,
yeah. For the asylum we're talking about?
I-751.
Oh, the I-751. Okay, no, it's not really doing first in, last out for the I-751s.
Oh, so it doesn't matter, because my strategy was to apply, late within the 90 days.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter for that.
No.
All right, awesome. That's all I want to know. And I just wanted to say, Yo-Yo, you're awesome. Brad, you're awesome. God bless you. Love you guys.
Yeah, but we're not handsome, but Nesquick is beautiful, right?
That's all that
matters. All right, Raj, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, let's go to Teresa in Los Angeles. Teresa.
Yes, hi. Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
So, good. So I have a pending petition for my brother. It's an I-130 F4 category. So when I applied for them, so with his wife and kids, but him and his wife are no longer together. There's no divorce. There's no legal separation because they're in the Philippines.
Okay.
So
but you just don't give an affidavit of support for the wife, and she doesn't come. The end of it.
Oh.
All right. So,
okay. All right.
Thank
each
person has to have an independent application. So you just don't do her application. It's fine.
Oh, so that's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Let's go to Mario in Jefferson City, Missouri. Mario.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Hi, Brad. How you doing?
How you doing?
Sorry.
My pleasure.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks.
What's going on?
Okay, so first of all, I got two quick questions I'd really like an answer. All right. I'm an international student. I called you last year sometime in the summer and took your advice. My wife is a green card holder, and we went ahead and petitioned for the I-130 last August. I'm still in school. However, I'm slated to graduate next May. So it's been almost over 7 months now, I believe, since last August. I would just like to know, how long do you think it would take for us to get a reply? Because I've gotten the receipt notice so far.
You filed an I-130 or you filed the whole adjustment?
Oh, I-130 because my wife's a resident. So you have to take it in steps,
Oh, okay, yeah, it's going to take over a year, 18 months.
Okay, next question. Being that I'm still in school and I still got my my F1,
right?
Is it safe for me to travel still, or?
It is.
Would you not recommend it?
It is, but right now, my concern is I don't know with this coronavirus on a regular basis what's happening. Maybe in 3 days from now there's a lockdown. I have no idea of the United States. I don't know. So your guess is as good as mine. So I mean, you're traveling not because it's not safe immigration-wise, is we don't know what's going to happen with coronavirus. That they'll say no one's allowed in America.
I got you.
All right.
All right. So you say another year?
Probably, yeah.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Let's go to Sam in Michigan City, Indiana. Sam.
Hello, bro.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
What's going on?
I have a quick question here. Last year, my wife we had a little misunderstanding, and she tried to file for divorce, and she did, but eventually, with the help of the counselors, we were able to, withdraw the divorce.
Right.
Now that I want to put in for my IN 400, can I still go ahead, or I need to just wait until 5 years?
Well, are you together with her or you're not together with her?
Yeah, we're together right now.
You're living with her?
Yeah.
Was there ever a time that you were not living with her?
You said what?
Was there ever a time you were not living together with her?
During the process of the divorce, we were together, but I didn't know that she already filed for divorce because she was really mad at that time. And
all right, but you were living in, as long as you can prove you and her were living in a bona fide marriage in the same household. Well, I guess if she started a divorce, it wouldn't be a bona fide marriage anymore. Now that I'm thinking about it. So when is your 5 years?
That's gonna be next year, December.
I would wait to 5 years at this point because I don't want you to go and lie on your citizenship. And once your wife would have started a divorce, even though you were living together, it's very possible they could say, well, if she started a divorce, you were not in a bona fide relationship at that point. You were in the process of terminating your relationship. Not to say it's not real, but you guys were terminating it, even though you may not have known about it. So, in my opinion, wait the 5 years. It's not the end of the world.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Carrie Ann in Philadelphia. Carrie Ann.
Hi, Brad. How are you? Well, I'm calling in regards to my son.
Yes.
He's 20 this year. His stepmom filed for him in 2 years back. He went for his visa interview on the 6th of March. However...
Where was this visa interview?
In Jamaica.
Okay. Okay, and?
And he did a blood test. He said that he told them that he used marijuana. They denied him.
Right.
So I'm wondering, he's going to be 21 this year. Would it still affect?
Well, the I-130 is still approvable, and I assume they would, and there's a Child Status Protection Act, so he can still get his green card after 21. They probably told him come back in a year, and they're going to retest him, and he's going to have to prove that he hasn't smoked marijuana in that 1 year, and he's going to get drug tested, and then he'll get through.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you, Uncle Brad.
You're welcome. All right. So with that, in today's Spar and Bernstein Attorney Close-Up, immigration attorney Alex Mercado discusses if the country you are from can affect your immigration case. Let's watch.
That's a very loaded question, especially in this administration. If we remember correctly, when Trump started his administration, he issued what was the famous travel ban from Muslim countries. That was fought in courts. Ultimately, the Supreme Court held that it was constitutional in certain degree, this ban. So yes, where you come from can cause difficulties in your immigration benefits. For example, if you come from a Muslim country and being petitioned by an immediate relative, you could find your case being held to a higher scrutiny. Another case of how where you come from affects is when we talk about visa availability. So the United States immigration law has a certain number of visa caps for certain green card applications. So for example, if you're from countries like China, maybe you're from countries like the Philippines, Mexico, your dates are further off because the caps are reached much quicker. So if you're being petitioned from a country, let's say like most of our clients from like Jamaica, odds are there's gonna be a closer date than somebody from Mexico. That's another way where you come from affects your immigration benefits.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. So meanwhile, if you didn't get your immigration question answered on our show, you could always put your questions right now in any of the comment sections on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. We will try our best to answer them in our social media check-in, which is coming up in a few minutes. And if you don't get your questions answered in the social media check-in, you can't seem to get through on the phone, You could always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. It seems to be my social media of choice at the moment. And if you like some of my pictures and you follow me and you seem like an all-around general nice human being, you could drop me a DM and I will try to answer your question as best as I can. Or sometimes I'll say way too complicated, you need a consultation. But I would say about more than 50% of the time, I just kind of give an answer to the best of my ability. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. If you follow us at Brad Show Live, you can see all the best of our behind the scenes, plus all the best of our produced content, plus in our stories, the best 2-3 minutes of Brad Show Live each and every day. You can also like our free immigration consultation post, tag 5 friends, and be put into the name machine on Wednesday to get pulled out and get a free consultation with me valued at $200. That consultation can be done over the phone or in person. So even if you're not in the New York area, we can always do it by telephone. And Vanessa and Yonathan, you have anything to add about social media?
Yeah, alrighty, squad. So you can find me at Vanessa.ContrerasTV.
And you guys can find me at Yonathan Elias TV.
All right. So meanwhile, Yonathan and Spar and Bernstein tax attorney extraordinaire Carmela Waldron. Yonathan loves this.
I love this.
He's like, guys, you got to watch this very intently.
You guys
So
have
I
to.
haven't seen it yet. So
I
we'll
can't
see.
wait to watch it.
Tax talk.
Yeah, so Yo-Yo and Carmela sat together recently to discuss tax tips and remittances. Now, remittances is money sent to immigrants living in America, and it's often sent back to their home families. Yonathan and Carmela went over how much people from different countries send and their 2017 remittance amounts, and calculated how much money those demographics paid in taxes to the United States government. Let's watch.
What's up, Brad Squad? This is Yonathan Elias here, and I'm here with the one and only Spar Bernstein, tax attorney, the guru, Carmela Waldron herself.
Hello,
Listen,
everyone.
hey, I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And she has clients waiting for us. She still took time out to talk to us.
That is
and
correct.
drop some gems. Yes, and we're going to talk about how immigrants help the American economy. One of the biggest misconceptions is that immigrants, especially undocumented immigrants, do not pay taxes to the U.S. Is this true?
No. Immigrants pay their fair share of federal and state taxes. You won't be able to move forward with your immigration case if you do not address your taxes.
So now, these immigrants that are paying the taxes, do they get the same benefits, like the Social Security benefits that U.S. citizens do get?
Unfortunately, no. But when you do obtain your Social Security card, your monies that you earned when you had an I-10 will merge with your Social Security number.
And then, real quick, I-10 is?
I-10 is a tax identification number that is used for tax filing purposes only.
Okay, so now, you know my little special segment, Tax Talk with Carmela. I'm always having to bring some statistics. So where's your handy-dandy calculator?
Right here.
There it is. Look how big that is.
It is.
There's a big old calculator. All right, so now I have some statistics here from Pew Research Center on how much different immigrant demographics here in America send back money to their home countries. So now, like I always say, we have to remember this means that these immigrants are making a significant amount more because they have to still upkeep their living expenses, right, in the States.
Yes.
So this is actual money that they're sending back home to their home countries. Let's start with Pakistan. Now, they sent home $1.3 billion back in 2017. So how much did the U.S. government make in taxes just off of their remittance? Yeah.
$481 million.
Ooh, okay. Hong Kongese, known as Hong Kongers, had no idea that's what they were called, first of all. Did you?
No.
Okay, well, we
know
know now. All right,
we
they
know.
sent back $132 million back in 2017. So how much did the U.S. government make just off of their remittance?
According to my calculation, $48 million.
Ooh, okay. Third one, people from Ivory Coast. Beautiful people, by the way. So they sent back $7 million back in 2007. How much did the U.S. government make just off of their remittance?
According to my calculation, $2.6 million.
Wow.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
And you wouldn't even know that you had that many people from Ivory Coast here. All right, Sudanese. I love Sudan because my family was actually refugees there. They actually sent back $3 million back in 2017. Now, how much did the U.S. government make just off of their remittance?
$1.1 million.
Wow.
Yes, a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Yes.
Man, okay, so from Greece, they sent back $49 million. That's a lot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so how much did the U.S. government make off of that?
$18 million.
Man, all right. So now Barbadians from Barbados,
yes,
they sent back a lot of money, and I was actually surprised about this. They sent back $63 million. Now, how much did the U.S. government make off of that?
$23 million.
Wow. Now, this is the big whopper. Moroccans from Morocco. Now, they sent back home $184 million from Morocco. So they sent it back to Morocco. How much did the U.S. government make off of them, just off of them remittance?
$68 million.
Wow. That's an incredible amount of money.
Yes, it is.
Altogether.
Altogether.
Yeah. I want to let everybody else know, because this is Tax Talk with Carmela. Do you have any words of wisdom for anybody out there watching?
Sure. I will always say that it's always important to file your taxes, because it could really delay your immigration case if you do not file your taxes. You could also apply for what is called an I-10 for your spouse, or also for your dependents, for your children. And lastly, if you owe money in taxes, there's a program called Offer and Compromise, in which I was able to obtain successful settlements and saving a lot of people money in taxes.
So I always owe money in taxes every year, right? What do I say every year when I come to you? I'm scared.
You're scared.
And she says every time, don't be scared, I got you.
That's
so
right.
I'm telling you, like, it works, and she always has me. So I want you to give some examples of offer and compromise.
Yes. I had clients, like this actually happened last week, where I had this one client, he owed $23,000 in taxes, and they got a settlement for $2,000 in taxes. And this other one, which is very emotional for me, because they had this man who was going through a divorce, and he had 2 children paying child support, and he owed $25,000 in taxes, and he got a settlement for $450. He actually cried in my office because he was very emotional about it. Because I guess he couldn't believe that he was able to pay that little on this tax debt.
Man.
And like I said before, the IRS could be very aggressive with collections, bank levies, garnishment of wages. So you should also reach out to me to try to, resolve any tax issues you may have.
Listen, you know I love you, girl. I'm actually bringing my taxes to her tomorrow.
That is true.
This is like truth. I ain't just, joshing for y'all.
No.
Let everybody know how to contact you. Free consultation, y'all.
That is correct. Free consultations over the phone or in person to address all your tax matters.
There you have it. Well, Brad Squad, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of Tax Talk with Carmela. And before we leave, now I gave you guys my countries. We like to put together all of the countries that are listed and see how much they made the U.S. government in taxes just off of their remittance. And y'all know what remittance means now. What does it mean real quick?
Money that's being sent overseas.
There you go. My family did that their entire life, still does it. We have to send back, money to help our family and friends back home. So today we talked about Pakistan, Hong Kong, Ivory Coast, Sudan, Greece, Barbados, and Moroccans. So these are the people that we talked about today that sent money back home. Now, in 2017, how much did the U.S. government make altogether off of their remittance?
$30 billion.
$30 billion?
Yes. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
And they don't even see all of the benefits that U.S. citizens would have, huh?
That is correct.
Man, but you still got to pay your taxes.
You still got to pay your taxes, file your taxes.
Thank you guys again one more time. Carmela is the guru. Y'all, please call 1-800-529-5465. You already know. You're going to get your free consultation with her. Get a consultation with our lawyers, too. And we out.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, I enjoyed that.
Yes.
You throwing the money up in the air.
I channeled
fake money.
I channeled Brad there.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that what was?
Yeah. And meanwhile, everybody's questioning, why am I screaming? Because I don't hear myself. Uncle Brad's deaf.
Uncle Brad always
Uncle Brad's always screaming because I don't hear myself.
Y'all should know that by now.
Everybody's always saying, why are you screaming at me? I go, I'm not. I'm talking normal.
Right.
Serious.
I know.
People say that to me all the time. All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. It's the New Yorker in me.
That is. That's strong island.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Remember, the first 5 questions that we are going to ask are not from any of the questions that you actually asked during the show. These are the first 5 from the very important squad member page, the Brad Show Live page. It's a fan page on Facebook, so make sure you guys join that so you can get the first 5 questions answered.
By the way, Nikki Forever Bless wants to know how come you didn't mention Jamaica, and then I see that you already said that we have a whole segment about Jamaican remittances later in the week.
Yes.
We didn't forget our people in Jamaica, right?
I mean, don't you think I would have said mine too? I got Ethiopia and Nigeria, so I say that
we have them as well.
We have them as well. We don't want to give you all of it at once. All right, we gotta keep you coming in.
As they say at Belmont Racetrack, hold your horses.
There you go.
All right, let's go to social media check-in.
So Jennifer Clear is saying, how can I get a passport renewed if I can't find the father?
How can she get her daughter's passport?
So then what you need to do is go to family court and get full custody of your child. And once you get an order of full custody, you can then do the passport application for your daughter. Just submit that you have full custody. You don't need the father's signature.
Cool.
All right, the next one comes from Thelma Ikachi, and she says, my husband filed for an adjustment of status for me last year, and we went for the interviews. First was in September, the other was in October 2019. However, the second interview, we were separated, and unfortunately, while being interviewed, we answered some questions wrongly. So we are told they will get back to us. So my question is, what should we be expecting next?
A denial, and you're put in deportation, but if it's a real marriage, then we'll have to refile again and prove it.
All right, no matter what, just be you. Ask.
I like that.
I like it too. What documents do you need from your affidavit of support?
What kind of documents for an affidavit of support? 3 years, tax returns, a job letter, and a bank letter.
There you go.
Alrighty, the next one comes from Douglas Onuwa. If one files marriage-based AOS sends the AOS document to the USCIS, how does one know if they have actually received it?
A document to USCIS, send it by certified mail, and then you know it's received.
Okay.
All right, our next one comes from Christine Marie, saying, good afternoon, I really enjoy watching your show.
Hey.
Awesome. Her question is, her PD is March 22nd, 2019, EAD with AP expedited August 2019, interview January 13th, 2020. Now, until now, no communication has been sent for the green card. All it says online is interview has been done, waiting on review. Can we submit a mandamus or go to Congress to find out what if there is any issue? We also had an expedited interview. We did an inquiry on Wednesday and Friday. They said that they mailed a response. And also, once the green card case is approved, I would like to share my immigration story with you. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for your help and guidance. You and your team are doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can go to your congressman. You can do a mandamus. You can do many different things. How long has it been now?
So the PD was March 22nd, 2019. EAD and AP expedited August of 2019. The interview was January 13th, 2020.
All right, so you got to give them at least 120 days before you start. You
So
want to file
120 days
you
from
can't
January.
you can't file a mandamus yet, but you can go to your congressman, but give them 120 days.
All right, the next one comes from Daniel K. Dallas, and he asks, when do children become automatic citizens? That's the first part of the question.
If they live with a parent who is a U.S. citizen, they have a green card and they're living in the physical and legal custody of that U.S. citizen parent under the age of 18.
Is the U.S. passport granted at the embassy on the time of appointment, or what do I need to do? I am a U.S. citizen. Please explain.
I don't know anything about your case. I guess you're asking if you had a child born abroad. That's a different situation. If you had a child born abroad, you would take that child into the U.S. Embassy, prove that you were living in the United States 5 years prior to the child's birth. When the child was born, you were a U.S. citizen. They'll look at all the documentation and have you come back a few days later to get a U.S. passport.
All right, next one comes from Joanna saying, good evening, Brad and staff. My husband has an I-130, 485, and 212 approved. Now waiting for a response for the 601A. If he's approved, can he be affected for having an entry without expecting in 1998?
Well, if you get the 601A approved, that's for the out of status. You can't. There's no denial for entry without inspection. So the 601A would cover your period of out of status from 1998 to the present. I believe that is the question.
Cool.
The next one comes from Denise Finley, and she asked, I got an email from NVC on December 9th, 2019, that all my documents are completed. How long will it take for an interview appointment?
From the NVC?
Mm-hmm.
What's her priority date? Who's sponsoring her?
She got an email on December 9th, Brad.
All right, well, I want you to know something. Up until this moment, 29 Super C was absolutely correct. Good questions being asked tonight from the @Brad Squad. But this one, I don't know. We need more information on this one. This one was an iffy one.
All right. Richard Moore saying my 2-year green card will expire June 20th, 2020. Now, what's the dead date for USCIS to receive my I-751 application to avoid late submission?
The day before it expires.
Okay, this one comes from Abraham Bayo, and he asked, work permit written on the bottom, not valid for re-entry in the U.S., which means it's different from combo card. What are the difference between the two?
Because they didn't put the advance parole on your work permit. You need a separate document for the travel document.
All right, Kevin Douglas saying I got my 10-year green card July 2019, and I want to know if it's 3 years from July 2019 I can file for citizenship.
Yes, 3 years from the time you get your green card.
Okay. So they said because we...
Wait. You got the 10-year card? Or
they got the 10-year on
it's
July
3 years.
2019.
It's 3 years from the time you got your conditional card. So if you've been a permanent resident for more than 3 years since the day you got your conditional green card, you can do your citizenship now, provided you're in a bona fide marriage with your U.S. citizen still.
So they have a little bit of an explanation. Because we have been filing taxes since 2017, joint 2018 and 2019, or do we have to be filing 3 years together from the day I got the green card to be able to file for citizenship in 3 years marks instead of the 5-year mark? If we didn't file together 3 years.
You need to be able to prove that for the last 3 years you have been a lawful resident, either as a conditional resident or as a permanent resident. Either one, it's the same thing for your purposes. So you go back from what's today's date? March 9th, 2020. Mm-hmm. So you have to prove between March 9th, 2017 and March 9th, 2020, you and your spouse are in a bona fide marriage, which would mean you would need joint tax returns for 2017, 2018, 2019.
And then also, is it that I can still do my citizenship if we should separate?
No.
Being that we had filed 3 years straight, which shows it was a real leading up to the date of separation.
No, you cannot. Then you would have to wait on the 5 years. Because you have to be in a bona fide marriage all the way, not on the day your application is filed, but on the day your application is filed all the way through the time you swear in.
Alrighty. This question comes from Ken Kibbett, and he asked, I filed for VAWA, got a receipt in August 2018, was asked and submitted RFE to provide more supporting evidence on a bona fide marriage that I did get a receipt for in 2018. So his question is, what should I expect? And I also got a prima facie extension due April, but will be issued automatic extension upon its expiration.
All right, so the prima facie means that they think that you have a solid case. So expect, and you submitted an RFE already, so they filed an adjustment? Well, you're not even sure.
It didn't.
I'm not sure what you filed. If it was just an I-360, expect an approval. If you filed an adjustment, expect an interview.
Yeah, no, I just reread it.
Right, okay.
Didn't say.
Ken Roy saying, I've been in a domestic violence relationship with my spouse before and after marriage. We've been together for 14 months, married for 2 months. Relationship which eventually end. Can I file VAWA?
Yeah, if there's abuse and it's a bona fide marriage, yes.
Alrighty, this one comes from Sierra James, and she asks, I'm a U.S. citizen currently living in Nigeria with my husband. We filed our spousal I-130 on January 2nd. We are processing at USCIS. What are the options for us?
None at the moment until Trump lifts the ban.
Okay, Beatrice saying, I received an approval letter from USCIS for my husband's case, and they sent it to NVC on February 19th, 2020. I would like to know when I can contact NVC for the next step.
Wait, what happened again?
Got the approval letter from USCIS for the husband's case and sent it to NBC February 19th. So they want to know when they can contact NBC for the next step.
They got the approval notice?
They got the approval letter from USCIS.
NBC takes about 8 weeks. So after about 8 weeks, you can contact them. But you can contact them today. There's no rule that says you can't contact them. That's why I'm a little confused on the question. You can contact them every day. You can write them every day. Okay, but generally it takes about 8 weeks for the case to be transferred.
And 8
yeah,
weeks, yeah.
Alrighty, down to our last two questions. Kayanne Forrester, my daughter has 1 year left in the university in Jamaica, but her filing came through now. Can she go back to finish the year without it causing her the green card?
Wait, who's filing for who?
My daughter has 1 year left at university, but her filing, they didn't say who was filing for who.
I'm not sure what the question's about.
So okay, I'll read it again. Her daughter has 1 year left in her university in Jamaica, but her filing came through now. Can she go back to finish the year?
Okay, I understand. So after you get your green card and come up to the United States, if she goes back and finishes the year, she will have abandoned her permanent residence. So she would need to either file for a re-entry permit or keep traveling back to the U.S. every month.
All right.
Wow.
Last question for right now, Erica, saying no EOS, AOS in my passport by officer at the airport. How can it prevent me from getting a green card?
Because the officer just wrote on your passport, you cannot extend your status or change your status. But it said no EOS.
No EOS, AOS.
Or adjust your status. Yeah. All right, so you can't extend your status, you can't adjust your status. But that's an immigration officer at the airport. That doesn't mean you can't do it. That means the officer's scaring you into not doing it.
All right, one more, Brad. Last one comes from...
that was supposed to be our last one, but I like how he started this one
kind of
off.
Snuck in there?
Sean Brooks. He snuck... He had a very good energy... type of question.
Hi, Brad. Great show, guys. Keep safe.
I love it.
And it's all in caps.
I love it.
I said we have to ask this one.
If I put on my visa application that my status is common law marriage and now I'm married in the U.S. And about to adjust my status, do I need to be worried?
No, because you said common law marriage. That's not a legitimate marriage. And by the way, there's Jeremy Goldberg. He's brilliant. He says Brad is the Ellen DeGeneres of Lawyer TV. He is a brilliant man, that Jeremy.
That is brilliant.
Meanwhile, Sunday was International Women's Day, and March is Women's History Month. And tomorrow, primaries are being held in 6 states: Michigan, Washington, Missouri, Mississippi, Idaho, and North Dakota. So I recently spoke with a woman who is doing her best to make sure that women and men go out to vote in their best interest in this election. Now, Dawn Robertson is the founder of Grab Them By The Ballot, a nude photography campaign. This is what Grab Them By The Ballot is. It's a nude photography campaign focused on empowering and celebrating women and increasing voter turnout. So they are using photographs of women basically nude to promote women voting.
It'll catch someone's attention.
Let's watch. Dawn Robertson is the founder of the viral nude photography campaign, Grab Them By The Ballot. She has been an advocate for women's rights for 30 years, starting at the University of Pennsylvania, where she studied women's studies and history, graduating summa cum laude. Later at the Harvard Law School, she studied hate crimes and civil rights. After practicing on Wall Street, she founded an international legal recruiting company. She is now a contributing writer to the Good Men Project and has been quoted on the topic of female nudity by news media worldwide, including CNN and the New York Times. Dawn joins me today to discuss Grab Them By The Ballot and why she started her grassroots campaign. Welcome, Dawn. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's get right to it. What is Grab Them By The Ballot?
We are a nonprofit organization urging non-voters to get out and vote. And we use the medium of nude photography.
Why does nude women get people to go out and vote and fight for their rights?
It's a playful campaign, partly. It's a play on Trump, what he said in 2016, grab him by the pussy. So the nudity is highly relevant. It's talking about women's bodies. We're talking about our sexuality. It's also used for shock value. Women have been using nudity as a form of protest for centuries.
What are you doing in life before you started this Grab Them by the Ballot organization?
I had just come back from traveling for 5 years, actually. I was traveling down in South America and had actually just come out of rehab for alcohol. I was starting my career over again. I've been writing and studying sexuality for 20 years. That was part of my travels. I actually really didn't know how much the dark ages we were. I had no earthly idea because I just got back to the country, right? I really didn't know what America was like this time. So it has been an unbelievable journey.
What made this go viral that people started paying attention?
Well, right after the Kavanaugh confirmation, I saw a photograph on social media that a woman had done, a photographer in New Hampshire, and it was called, she had the banner, Grab Him by the Ballot. And I thought, oh my God, that's amazing. Why don't we do that here in Vermont? And I got 12 women together and I pounded the pavement to do that. I wasn't even starting a campaign. I was doing a photography shoot.
It was Breitbart picked up these photographs. Is that what made it go viral?
Our local newspaper picked it up, then the Associated Press picked it up. And then when Breitbart picked it up and put a link to our Facebook page in the actual article on purpose, that's when it went viral.
Was it ultimately a positive that it went viral?
For me, it was very positive. I just let it all happen, and I wanted to expose America. Even I was shocked at the things people were saying. And I think people were gravitating to the page just to see what I call them Trumpers. Trump supporters actually felt and thought about women.
So what inspired you to do all of this?
It was Me Too. We're living in Me Too times, and it was the Kavanaugh confirmation. You know, I grew up in Washington, D.C. I was living in New Haven. My boyfriend at Yale at the same time he was there, and I witnessed the nepotism and the culture there. Many people just like him. He's one of many. I know the culture really well. You know, we're upper middle class kids living outside D.C. A lot of politicians' kids, you know, diplomats, very entitled, very privileged. This was 25 years ago. We didn't know anything about sexual consent. We didn't know how to communicate about sex. We didn't know any of these things. And these are really entitled kids. And I met many boys like that, especially at parties where people are drinking and things get out of hand.
Her name was Christine Blasey Ford.
Absolutely, I related to her. And I thought she was incredibly courageous for doing so. I mean, it was a typical situation where a woman gets on the stand and why is she wearing a short skirt? I mean, not to simplify it, but I couldn't believe this, in this day and age, we were actually shaming her and questioning her. It was shocking. And to watch him play the victim was even more shocking. And it was the straw on the camel's back.
Yeah. When you started posting these photographs, what kind of backlash did you get?
I've received backlash all along the way, but I received backlash from the African American community, from women of color, because I wanted to have women of color in the photograph. And so I was accused of using people as models, objectifying them, being a white savior, tokenism, things like that. But the tokenism, I'm conflicted when it comes to identity politics. I think we need to really start working together here, and I see so many agendas that are pitted against each other. If I was hiring a young graduate to be the CEO of a huge company and the skill set didn't match, and that would be tokenism. I could have approached it differently. I should have reached out to the Black community or women of color and asked them what was the best way to approach people. That I should have done. I should have asked for guidance before asking. Absolutely, without question. And I could have had a woman of color as somebody collaborating with me.
Have you done that since to try to rectify that situation?
Yes, I have.
Basically, Breitbart was giving a link so that you could have haters come onto your Facebook page. I mean, it's apparent why they did that. And I'm just curious how people's reactions were as you went from one side of the political spectrum to the other.
I would say we actually received negative backlash from the whole spectrum. Even feminists and progressives and socialists, socially liberal folk, they were uncomfortable with the nudity. On that end of the spectrum, it was more about you're objectifying women. The feminists were angry that we were using sexuality and nudity, and that we were again just objectifying women, which I find somewhat ridiculous because this is a conscious choice to pose nude. I also think it's about get over yourself and get over nudity. And listen, women have been using nudity for centuries. We used it in Nigeria to protest Mexico. We've got free the nipple, we've got we the nipple, we've got women burning bras. This is nothing new.
There's women who make conscious decisions to do pornography. There's women who make conscious decisions to pose very provocatively. At what point are those women who are making conscious decisions objectifying their bodies? And why is that different than what you're doing? Or it's not different, and as long as they're making a conscious decision, then it's perfectly okay that they do what they choose to do?
I think if it's a conscious decision, nobody else can make that choice for them. And I think that's the fundamental ideology behind feminism. It's about choice.
If somebody poses sexually, then there's other people who are now objectifying those women.
So what? I don't mind if somebody looks at me as a sexual object. Thank you. I am a sexual being. There's nothing wrong with looking at somebody as a sexual being. That said, nudity is not automatically sexual. This is art, and this is provocative art, and this is to make people think, right? And I think it did. People were asking really good questions, and the objectification is a very valid question. On the other end of the spectrum, there were people saying, rape them, grab them by the throat, they smell like fish, and rating us, and all kinds of nasty things. But I also think it's about, we need to get over our fear of nudity. Also, so there's so many layers to the campaign.
What social norms made people feel nudity is offensive?
I would say religion is the biggest culprit, and obviously social conditioning. The shame and the guilt and the repression that we live with in this country compared to, let's say, Europe, I think it's astounding. I was really shocked when I heard that. We're not taught about sex. We don't know anything about consent and how to communicate around sex.
You're also involved in a campaign to ban shadow banning on social media. You want to talk about that and what that is?
It was another campaign called We the Nipple, put together by the National Coalition of Censorship and Spencer Tunick, who is a world famous nude photographer. They got a group of about 150 women to pose nude in front of Facebook's headquarters in New York City. Grab Them was a part of that. I posed, and we worked together on marketing.
It's kind of a discrimination against women that social media is allowing men to be topless in a bathing suit, but not allowing women just to have a bikini bottom on. Have you had any success in moving the needle towards having that allowed on social media?
They are talking. After the protest, the National Coalition Censorship actually did have, from my understanding, meetings with Facebook, and they're revisiting their policy. Has anything been changed? To the best of my knowledge, no. Will it? I believe it will in the next coming year or two. Showing your breast publicly is still illegal in many states. Facebook is just another representation.
Facebook is following society, or is Facebook dictating to society?
Both. I think Facebook could put in so many mechanisms. They could have consent buttons. They could have parental buttons. There are all sorts of things. And we're talking about artistic nudity. There's nothing sexual really about our photos at all.
You were involved in another organization called Women of the World, women in 23 countries posing nude. What was that all about?
Well, that was part of Grab Them By The Ballot. I wanted to do something that represented women as empowered and less angry and less taking a victim stance. And we wanted to show the commonality of issues that women face all over the world.
Were any people from any particular country more surprised?
I would say the most shocking was the Syrian refugee who sent in a photo of herself laying on the ground posing as if she'd been murdered with her top off. And I think the Syrian community was actually quite supportive, but still shocked. There wasn't much backlash because it had a very different vibe and energy to it. It was more artistic and it was a more celebratory photo shoot. So we didn't receive a backlash.
You also put in a amicus brief, a friend of the court to the Supreme Court of the United States in support of a female public nudity law in New Hampshire. A friend of the court is basically somebody who's not part of the particular conflict that the Supreme Court is trying to resolve, but has an interest in the outcome and would like to be heard nevertheless. And I've never done it before, so I'm actually curious. Can anyone do it? Do you have to get permission to submit it?
I believe you do have to get permission to submit it. The attorney, Eric Isaacson, who was representing the defendants, reached out to me. So I believe the attorney submitting the petition to the Supreme Court, it's online if anybody actually wants to read it. I thought it was extremely supportive and persuasive. We spoke about the history of nudity, spoke about the social impact, women not being able to actually be nude in public and what that represents.
Was this, to date, successful in getting women to vote and vote in the way that you would like to see them vote?
It has definitely gotten women to start, and men, to start talking about nudity and sexuality and what the hell really is choice and what is objectification and what does reclamation even mean. And I think it's encouraging women to vote in their best interest. Look at the legislative controls that we have out there that Trump is enacting against our body. Yes, I do think it's raising awareness.
We have a president that I assume you don't want in office. I don't want in office. What's your next move to get people to come out and vote and get this guy out of office?
We need funding. So that is our main focus. We have a GoFundMe and we want to hit the mainstream. I don't want to be singing to the choir here. I want to really encourage non-voters to get out there and vote and for women to vote in their best interest. We've already been speaking with a few colleges to get chapters set up all over the country. We want to do a nice bucket challenge. And I'm writing a book and I want to talk about kind of my healing journey and talk about activism and the holes that I found. You know, I had a very fresh perspective going into it.
You're going to vote from Bali?
Yes. So you can register to vote from abroad. Absolutely.
Do you know your family's immigration story?
I know that my grandfather was on the Mayflower. We are Scottish and Danish.
How do you know your grandfather was on the Mayflower? I wouldn't be your grandfather, but your great-great-great-great-grandfather. How do you find that out?
Listen, I am not sure, but I know that my aunt was obsessed with our ancestry. His name was Dawn Robertson, and he was a lawyer, and he came over on the Mayflower.
So when you say American dream, it's really, what are your goals for yourself, for America? What would you like to see?
I would like to see just more unity and more justice for disenfranchised groups, less racism and discrimination, hatred. The hatred that we're witnessing now and Trump is promoting that's obscene. And it's interesting because I was a lawyer on Wall Street. I lived the American dream, and I'll be quite honest, it did not suit me. To me, it was too wealth-oriented, and I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve the people somehow.
Tell me how people can find Grab 'em by the Ballot. How can they join your cause? How can they support your cause?
You can go to our website at grabthembytheballot.org, and there's a donation button there, the link to our GoFundMe. And we're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
All right, wonderful. Dawn Robertson, thank you very much. Joining me from Bali. It's probably midnight there now. I appreciate your time. A great organization. I'm glad that you are able to find purpose in life, and you're doing the right thing. So thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you, Brad.
Okay. All right, so we have a speed round. I'm not going to eat any hot dogs in this speed round.
No.
Tamika said no. Nobody wanted to see me eat hot dogs. So instead of a hot dog speed round, we'll do an immigration speed round.
There we go.
All right, well.
So what are we going to do? We're going to do 10 questions in 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah. I know for a fact we'll get that.
Which is faster than Joey Chestnut.
Yes.
You're ready.
Okay, ready?
Mandy says, does late tax filing affect N-400 application?
Yes.
Ali, I just got my green card through marriage. Can I travel to my home country for 2 months?
Yes.
Sandy says, can my non-Nigerian Ghanaian stepchild come to the U.S. without my Nigerian husband, or do they have to travel together after the ban?
They can travel separately.
Is it safe to go to Jamaica on advanced parole while I-485 is pending?
Absolutely.
Samantha says, how long does it take to hear from USCIS after you sent in your application?
I don't know what the application is, but you should get a receipt shortly within a few weeks.
How can I change my name on my citizenship?
At the time of the interview.
Kajidato saying, can I send 2-size passport pictures to USCIS if they ask me to send one?
Yeah, why not?
After VAWA biometric, what do I expect?
An interview.
Can you qualify for financial aid while holding a prima facie determination VAWA case?
Yes.
And we made it, but I'm just going to ask one more. I am Nigerian residing in Italy. Can my finance petition?
No, because you're Nigerian.
Can my fiance petition?
And by the way, you can't get financial aid on a prima facie. You can only get government assistance. Financial aid is separate. So.
Oh, that's what it was. Can my fiance petition for me? My finance. I just get
Yes.
nervous. I just want to make it speedy.
I knew it was going to.
But we won anyway.
Round of applause.
And there's absolutely nothing that happens.
We got a ding ding.
There's nothing happens here.
We got a ding
Yeah, we got a ding.
She said, Jilly's hurt. You got a ding ding ding.
There it is.
At least we have,
you know what, team? We have each other. Nice job, Brad. You're too far. Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah, at least we have some fireworks in the background now. Something. Maybe there should be like fireworks in that Brad show.
Right.
You know, something.
We'll work
something out, man.
We'll work on that.
Somebody get Brad some fireworks.
Get some fireworks in here. Imagine Yo-Yo just starts throwing some what is it, bottle rocket?
Pops.
A little fire. Yeah. I'm like, you just took my eye. All right, why don't we do comments of the day?
Okie doke, let's see what our Brad squatters have to say.
Yeah.
During comments of the day.
Uh-oh.
Look at that. Just came up with that one off the top of the dome.
Why don't we do that again? Yes. Say that again.
Let's see what our squatters have to say in the comments of the day.
Oh, you're a poet and you didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it.
Okay, first comment of the day comes from Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, yes, be positive, you all, and live your life. That's the same off of what I was saying. Just be positive, y'all.
That's right.
Next one comes from Kadeen Cole, and they say, your show helped me in my I-130 process. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I love to hear things like that.
I love those. All right, our third comment of the day comes from Jewel Von D saying, hey, Brad, I'm watching live in Ghana, Africa.
Wow. Whoa, Jewel. Shout out to you.
That's talking about a worldwide show, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I want to go to Ghana.
Next comment of the day comes from a loyal one, Tali Tali. She says, welcome everyone on YouTube. Please click the gray thumbs up and make it blue. Let's show Uncle Brad some love.
All right.
There it is.
Yes. Our next comment today goes off of Tally Tellies, and this is why I love our Brad Squad so much, because they just love each other.
Yeah.
Sandy saying, Tally just walked in the door, already thumbs up and shared. It should be a routine for all.
That's right.
Agreed. I agree.
It's like you know, I don't know, brushing your teeth in the morning, right?
Right.
Well,
Be part of your routine.
I would hope so.
Okay, and our last comment of the day comes from No Matter What, Just Be You. I love that user handle.
Yes.
I love my Brad show. People call in and ask whatever you need to know because Uncle Brad is informative.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
An informative young lad. It got cut off.
Oh, he's an
informative young lad.
Informative young lad.
I agree. A lad and young.
A young lad.
A young lad. As a young lad in law school, I was very informative as well. All right, everybody, stay safe. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. 5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.